Hello and welcome to Week 8 lecture for Marketing Fundamental. And today our topic of discussion is creating customer value through product and services. So if you talk about creating customer value through product and services in terms of brands as well, here you can see a lot of brands that we use on a day-to-day basis. For example, we got L'Oreal, we got Nike, we got Asda, we got Gillette, Sony, BBC, and these are all type of brands that we are affiliated on a day-to-day basis. So if you look into the learning objectives of this session, we are going to discuss about product in terms of marketing. We will look into the difference between product and brands. We will also look into different ways of alternating a product, as well as some key aspects of building, managing successful brands, as well as how to diverse product on brand portfolio as well. And we will also have an overlook about the product performance that also relates to the new product development process as well, and the importance of innovation as well. So if you start with product, what is product? So product is anything that can be offered to a market and that might satisfy the needs and wants of our customers. And this can retail, and products are also called at times merchandise. So in manufacturing, products are purchased as raw materials and sold as finished goods. So when we talk about products, there are three levels that exist within a product: the core product itself, the actual product, as well as the augmented product. So if you go in more details about the core product, that's the main purpose of purchasing that product or that particular goods that we are buying. When we talk about the actual product, this is what we are getting while purchasing the actual product. This can be the feature, the quality, the packaging itself, or the styling of the product. The augmented product are additional benefits that we get when we purchase a product. This can be the guarantees, warranties, installation, the delivery service that we get, the brand values it has, and any additional service that it comes along with it. If you have a look at an example over here in terms of BMW, for that particular car model, the core product is anything that is used as a means of transport. The actual product can be styling, the feature, the product quality. In terms of augmented product, this is what means is that is owned by BMW, the guarantee warranty that it comes with, or any additional service that BMW is offering to its customers. So why do you think a brand is so important, or what marketers bother about brands, or what are the benefits? So if you look into all of this in depth, the difference between a product and a brand is that branding is a process by which the companies distinguish itself or their product offering from their competitors. And this branding permits the customer also to develop an association with the brand in terms of status or a prestige that they hold with product and with ease the purchase decision. So if you look into this example, this is a sports celebrity, and majority of us already know him. It's David Beckham, and he is the person is used as a brand to win multiple endorsement contracts with leading firms as well. Because if it's any product related to sports, then brands might approach him thinking that he would be the perfect endorser for that particular brand. So if you talk about the difference between a product and a brand, so if a product is anything that is capable to satisfy customer needs, whereas a brand fulfill the very important function of distinguishing this offering of one company for those of others in that competitive environment. So when we talk about the benefits about brand, there are certain benefits about holding a brand or owning a brand. The company value that it comes along with, or the customer preferences, as well as the warranty package that that brand offers to its customer. The barriers to competitors, not allowing too many competitors to enter the market. The high profit that they have, as well as the base of brand extension. So brand also creates some benefits for consumers, right? In terms of communicating the features as well as the benefits of the product, this reducing the purchasing risk because the consumers will already know of the benefits of owning that particular product. And this simplifies the purchasing decision because the consumers can know if it's fulfilling their needs and wants or not. And this acts as a symbolic value to the consumer. So if we talk about certain perspective about building a brand, this involves a making decision about certain things, the name of the brand, which is very, very important, as well as developing the brand. It's not just bringing it, but it's also making sure that the brand is growing. When we talk about brands, there are certain brands that are formed within the family, and the brand names are picked after that as well. So that becomes a family brand name, and very good example would be Hens as well. And when we talk about individual brand name, this some individual coming up with a completely different and new brand, and this is a unique name to it. So a brand is created by means of augmented as well as core products to add value to the brands. So when we talk about the brand name consideration, we have to be very, very considerate with certain things because a good brand name should be evoke positive association because it should not be reflecting something negative. And it should be very easy to pronounce and remember so that it can make a place in the mind of the consumers. This should suggest certain product benefits as well. A very good example, when we buy any food product, you can see one of your 5 portion a day. So this provides certain benefits of eating that product. It has to be distinctive as well. Use numerical when emphasizing technology in terms of technological brands, as it's associated with numerical data and all that. So this is more significant to it. Not infringe an existing registered brand name. We have to make sure that brand name is unique. It's not already used by any other company. So when we talk about brand name strategies and choices, so there's 3 brand name, which is one family owned, one individual brand, whereas one a combination, right? The family brand, as we discussed in the previous slide, it's Hens. If you talk about an individual brand, over the previous slide, we talked about Gillette. Here we have an example for Pringles. Whereas in terms of a combination brand name, it's 2 name coming together or a mixture of a bit of family name as well as an individual name. A good example is Microsoft Windows. So when we talk about brand positioning, there are certain criteria or specs that we need to keep in mind. The domination of the brand into the market, what values does that brand hold? Brand reflection, what does consumer think about that brand? Brand personality, what is the personality? Is it a high-end product? Is it an affordable product? Is it a durable product? As well as brand assets and heritage. So when we talk about brand dominance, it is the brand's target market. When we talk about brand's heritage, this is the background of the brand. When we talk about brand values, these are the core values and characteristics of the brand. When we talk about the brand assets, these are all the distinctive activity that the brand makes. When we talk about the personality, as I said before, this is the character of the brand. And when we talk about brand reflection, how the brand relates to its self-identity. So when we talk about brand management, there are definitely certain issues associated with it. So brand extension and stretching at times. For example, Dove soap is now also having deodorant, shower gel, liquid soap, or body wash as well. So that is a part of brand extension. Pan-European, that's on global branding, a multinational company, market brand across all the pan-European, as well as making some impact into the global market. In terms of core branding, so when brands are positioned as ingredient or as brand, so you can see an example for Intel inside, which indicates that over the laptop or any other software, Intel is being installed. So moving forward to understand the market share, market growth, as well as understanding this framework of Boston's matrix. So the very first one over here starts from question mark, where the market share is low as well as the growth is high. So with low share, from the SBUs, but it is high in growth for market share. And this requires cash to hold the market share, as well as build into star or phase out. So once the brand is at this stage is when they're initiating that product. After that, they gradually move to star, where the growth is high, the share is also high, and they may need a very heavy investment eventually, as well as they will still keep growing. After the star stage of a product, the product moves to the cash cow stage where the growth is low, the market share is high. So this becomes an established product for the successful SBU, and this produces a huge amount of cash. But after a certain time, it goes to the declining phase where it turns into a dog, where the growth is low, as well as the market share is low as well. And this generates cash just to sustain itself. There's no profit margin higher as expected or targeted in probably cash cow or in star as well. So they do not promise to be a source of cash. So it's either you probably invest in something that's more differentiated into a new market, or you think of new ways in order to survive, or you have to move out of the market. So if you talk about star in deep, it's like building cells onto the market share, as well as invest to maintain or increase the leadership position in a real competitive challenge. If you talk about the problem child, which is also known as a question mark, this is where you build selectively, as well as focus on the defendable niche where the dominance can be achieved at a certain extent, as well as this is more to harvest where you have to divest on the rest. Moving to cash cow, this is where you hold a lot of cells, market share as well. This is where the excess cash can be used in order to support any other ventures, or maybe you can help any other problem child product of your brand. And this is also where the new product development takes place. And the very last stage is either harvest or divest or focus on defendable niche. So if you look into the product life cycle, the very first stage is the product development stage, then it goes to the induction, going up through the growth, maturity, and at times declining. And if you look into the sales trend, which indicates the orange line, you'll see in the induction, the sales is at a low, but when it's growing or it's at a mature stage, it's at a peak. But then again, when it's towards the declining stage, the sales are also declining. So when we talk about new product or developing a new product, this can come in different forms. It can be first a product to replace, that's usually 45% of the time. Addition to the existing line, that is 25% of the time. A good example of addition to the existing line could be Pepsi, where Pepsi introduces Pepsi Max, Pepsi Diet, or Pepsi Lemon, Pepsi Cherry. Those are all addition to the existing line. It can be a completely brand new product line, that's usually 20%, and new to the world product that's completely innovative, and that's up to 10%. So when we talk about new product development, there are certain stages that the product has to pass through. The very first stage of that funnel or the tunnel would be idea generation. And a lot of idea comes in, and then we need to screen out to see which one best suits us. And after selecting or screening certain ideas, we start developing some concept testing to see if it's actually feasible for our brand or not, or will it work for our brand or not. And then we do a business analysis to see if this is the product we want to sell. Is it going to be accepted by our target customers or not? That's when once analysis is being done, we move towards the product development. And this is more like bringing the idea into real life. And then we do a soft launching, also known as market testing. This is usually done probably giving samples, having focus group of your target customers. And then once that's being finalized, things are being resolved. If there's any issues that have arisen, we go to the commercialization stage of that new product development. Thank you for listening.